Okay, welcome everyone, Mark Sajan again, and this is a student project troubleshooting. What you see here, we have a nice scene that's coming along, and now we have two main issues. First of all, there's a huge wall set, and we actually don't need that much wall, but we want to make a texture on it. And the other part is this specific area, the screen. So we want to create a lighting screen for the set. Now first of all, let's start with the wall. I will keep only the areas, we'll convert it back to editable poly, and I'm keeping only the important walls, right? So if there's something is not that important or not visible or not important for the lighting, I will not keep that. So these are the walls I want to keep. Control I to invert selection and delete. Now the trick is quite simple. I will use an unwrap modifier on these walls, and once the unwrap is finished, um, I will look for unwrap where you are. I will look for a shell modifier. Yeah, unwrap UVB, where are you? Okay, here we go. And on top of it I will add the shell. Now this is just let me show where it goes. So shell. Now the trick is shell modifier can actually make the thickness of this wall, but because we don't care about the outer areas from a texturing standpoint, we don't really have to worry about that. Okay, so these are the walls that we are looking for. Now going back to unwrap, selecting the walls, this one set is belonging to 1, okay, because the camera is viewing them. So I'm going back to perspective and opening up UV editor. This is the UV editor, and that's nice. Just a quick snapshot, and once we have the snapshot, we can just go, we don't really need to pelt, we can just relax it. That would just do the job. Okay, here we go. This is the texture we're looking for. So I was using this UV checker PNG. That's nice. We are done with this one. Now take a look at the other wall. Right. Okay, it's not needed. Just this. Quick planner map. Yeah, we have a snapshot. Start relax. Okay, that's nice. Everything is visible, so just taking care of it. Move this one as well. Okay, we have the last part here, this wall, and actually this is not even visible for the camera. So we will use a texture, but we don't want to waste space too much. For this reason, the best if we overlap this texture. So when we are overlapping this UV coordinate, the result is quite a good one. But before we make this overlap, just let me quickly pack the items. Okay, packing is important because this pack will help us to make sure that the size of the texture will be the same here and here. And as you see, we have some changes, so the resolution of the texture here is higher than the resolution here. So I want to make a match. As you see, the size difference in the UV. So when I hit pack custom, this match is automatically created. So right now everything is aligned, but now because I don't want to keep and waste useful space here, I will drag this one and put it on the back area, so it will actually repeat the texture on the wall. Okay, now the first one is here. This one as a combo comes below. Selecting them both, changing the size. Okay, and now we can send it tools, render UV template. So this template could be rendered, and then it's ready to edit in Photoshop. If you save it, okay, now this is for the wall, and the shell modifier is actually taking care of the thickness of the wall. And as you see, it copies the texture, but it just flips the texture. Now if you don't see these values, if you don't see these, you might have to adjust the inner amount accordingly. So right now I was setting it to 25 somewhere. There is some jiggling here, but we don't really care about this corner. It looks okay from the camera, so we don't have to worry about this. And one other trick that needs to be turned on by default, shell is not using this straighten corners. So if it's not turned on, it may happen that the shell looks a little bit odd. So keep in mind, straighten corners, you need that. Okay, now looking for the TV. Now the TV is a little bit interesting because it's easier if you share the materials. So you have one material for the back of the TV. It's kind of a simple black one, and one material is for the TV screen. So I will just okay, this UV map is absolutely fine. This is a great box map, so we can handle that. The only thing what we actually need to do is to create a special purpose material, a multi-material that shares material IDs. Now here's how to do it. So I'm pressing right click, convert it into an editable poly, and selecting all the polygons. And now I will tell Control A actually to select everything, and I will tell, okay guys, you are ID 1 polygons, so every polygon is ID 1. Now selecting the screen, I don't want to make a too tidy selection, so just the center is selected, and here we have the grow option. Grow, okay, that's super nice. This is our screen, and tell the screen you will be set ID to 2. That's super nice. Now next part, open up a material editor and create a new material. This new material will be, instead of a standard, it will be a multi-material, multi-subobject. Okay, so double click. I don't want to keep the original one, so discard is fine. And we have by default 10 ID. Now we just want to use the first two, so nothing really cares. If you want, you can delete or you can add IDs as you wish. But ID first, that will be the body, and ID 2, that will be the screen. And actually there is no material yet, so it's kind of a material container. You have to load in the specific material. The body will be an Autodesk, physical material, and a physical material as a matte paint. I will drag and drop it. Okay, and as you see, this is already visible, so the body material taking effect already. Screen is still black because we have no material at the screen, and that will be in physical material again. Now of course it is just now it becomes gray, and it's kind of shiny because this is a default setup. This looking nice. Now the only thing that we have to take care of is we actually need a bitmap as a screen. I previously downloaded this one, so it's a CNC machine screen, and make it visible. Where do we go? Yeah, that's right. If you want to align it, if you want to change it, you can do the alignment and changes in the tiling or in the offset. I will use a tiling, kind of change it here. Offset. Okay, why not make an offset? Yeah, and tricking with the tiling and offset. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so I don't want to use another UV map, but actually I can do that just by selecting the polygons, these polygons, and calling a UVW map. That's it, but tiling and offset is enough for our adjustments. Now, going back to the parent, and this is quite nice, but this is not a self-illuminating material yet. You have to turn on emission, but instead of just simply making a bright white kind of a color of the screen, we can actually make a copy of this material we used and right click past instance to the material. Now the effect is not taking place yet because emission is 0, so I would switch it to 0.3. You don't have to be super strong with this one. Probably 0.1 might be enough as well. And cool. Okay, make a copy of it and Shift A to align. So I will align this to the previous one. Switch to rotate. I'm in local mode for rotation. That makes a difference. It's a little bit easier when you are adjusting something in the place. So the previous model I will keep. And okay, Shift A to align. That's a quick align here, but the hotkey is Shift A. Again, rotation in local mode. Move is also in local mode. And just, sorry, wrong selection. Make it. That's nice. Okay, so we have the texture on the walls. We have this lighting. Probably this the lila color is not the best one, so I will switch it to a kind of a grayish. Right, make it a move. See it from the camera. Okay, we don't have a floor yet, so I will add a floor. Just let me quickly create a floor plane. That's right. Add a material, new material. That is actually an Autodesk generic. It's quite a simple one. Nothing special change. Shift F for checking the safe frames, and I guess we have no lights yet. So I will go in the lights. That will be a free light. Yes, exposure control I want to use. Make a free light. Free light will be turned on. Advanced ray trace material, uniform diffuse, and this is a rectangle kind of material because we have some grills in the top. So just let me quickly check the grill. Okay, we are right below. I want to match the size. No, not much, but here. That's it. Okay, camera. Shift F. F10 render settings. Yes, we have art renderer resolution. It could be even lower. So I don't want to waste too much time on rendering, but just let me quickly test the render. Okay, this is a previous one. Right. Okay, so with one light source, looks promising. And let me show how to create that glow neon effect. So the screens are actually filling the scene, and if you make this light a little bit less strong, then we can add more lights. So make it, instead of 1050, so I want 750, and create a new light. This new light is also a target light, but this target light is actually instead of a point, it is a cylinder. And be careful because this time the distribution type is uniform spherical, and we want the shadows. And to make it even exciting, let us change the color. So the filter color will be a little bit bluish, and yep, that's nice. And probably the strength is too much, so I'm deadly sure that 500 will be enough. And just make a change on the size, so that's okay. But the width, the radius is way too much. No, move it to the right direction. I just want to place it somewhere here in a camera. And just a moment, and we will be ready with the scene. So yeah, in front of the screen. Why not? Okay. Yeah, let me test it. So F10, enter. Load up the screen just to make it visible. Right. Okay, now one issue. This light, actually the light source itself is not visible. So if you want to make it visible, as you see in the reflections are already showing this light. But if you want to make it visible, you have to enable that. Hit on cancel, and light shape visible in rendering, so I have the light selected. Just let me turn this on, and I don't want to render the whole screen again, so region render is turned on, and now just this region will be rendered and the light will be visible. Okay, if you have different screens, different TV screens, you might want to create different materials. The easiest way to create a different material is by opening up Material Editor, and selecting the original one, going to the highest level, and you can drag and drop it. Right now you have the same material as a copy, and you can go in and change the name, for example, screen 2, then going in and switch the material that you want to use and drag and drop it onto your new model. Okay, technically that's it. Let me show the final rendering, and this is the final rendering. Thank you very much. See you next time. Goodbye.